This episode is brought to you by MedBridge Education. Log into medbridgeeducation.com/TN Therapy Outsource. Use the promo code Dr. Mike or alternative to get $200 discount or over 40% off. Gain access to 1,000 plus online courses, compliance training, certification preps, program, and so much more. So again, thank you very much. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist and certified dementia practitioner. And yes, that is my alternative career. We are streaming live here in our alternative careers group. I hope I'm here in the right group, because sometimes I would go live in other groups and I realize it's not the right group. So I'm here with Dr. Josh Payne. He's actually a physical therapist, and he is our featured alternative career coach for this week. He's actually a PT business coach. If you don't know him, he has this really, really awesome book called How to Start Your Concierge PT Practice. It's awesome. When I read it, it was just like one day, I got to finish this, because I mean, it's rarely that I read a book in one sitting. The last time I read a book like that, it was like Harry Potter. That was in the 90s when I read, but when I got Josh Payne's book, gosh, I sat down, read on it, devoured it. It was like he was talking to me. So I reached out to him and he agreed to it. Now he's our alternative career coach. He will teach us how to start your own concierge PT practice. Imagine that. So again, thank you very much, Josh. I appreciate you. Did I miss anything?
No. I appreciate the introduction. But for those of you out there that don't know who I am, I'm Josh Payne, owner of Concierge PT Business Coaching. I did write a book I guess this year, called the Concierge PT Success Formula. And I coach PTs on how to basically be financially successful with the concierge practice.
Wow. Oh, wow. Well, I guess first of all, my first question, Josh, is what is concierge PT? I mean, what is it really?
So concierge PT is basically, I came at SSPT Live, I came up with this great definition of what I thought concierge PT is, but it's escaping me already right now. But basically, it's a fee for service where you're seeing patients in their homes or their office. And so fee for service, everything that I have in my practice. Actually, I just sold my concierge practice in Denver, and I'm here in Texas. But everything that we had in that practice was 100% cash, 100% cash based. And so that's what I consider to be concierge PT. But then to take that even up a notch even further, I believe concierge PT and the future of concierge PT really is providing services on a monthly basis, for a monthly subscription model where patients can get you on demand and get you when they need you.
Oh, wow. Well, why did you decide to be a concierge PT? What pushed you to this next level of serving people? I remember you talked about doing home health and stuff like that. Of course, I read your book, so I don't know your life story, but can you share it to our ACG group?
Absolutely. So I'll share. It basically came from two questions that were posed by me, one by my wife and one by a person in the PT field, which I'll explain in a second. But number one happened when I came home. I was working full-time home health. I was sick and absolutely sick and tired of all the documentation and everything that was included in that. And so I'm working in full-time home health. I had 3 PTAs that worked underneath me. So if any of you out there that are watching understand that situation, that means that I was the guy that went around and did all the OASIS documents. And so evaluations, reassessments, everything was me, the fall assessments, all that stuff. So basically my job was documentation, and I got good at it, and that's why I continued to do it, and they paid me well. But one night I got home, I had literally 3 starter care OASIS sitting in front of me on my laptop. I was sitting in a room near our apartment complex, because we had this little 700 square foot apartment. And I'm sitting in this little office in the leasing office, and I'm staring at these things, and I just could not get myself to do it whatsoever. And so I literally said, screw it. I'm packing this stuff up. I'm going to go hang out with my wife tonight. And so I went to go hang out with my wife. And then as soon as I get through the door, I started complaining that about all the documents that I had to do to my wife. And my wife just looked at me sternly and she was like, Josh, when are you going to when are you going to be happy with your job as a physical therapist? Are you ever going to be happy with your job? And honestly, my answer was, I don't really know. And then the second question that was posed to me, I know this is a little bit long, Mike, but I think it'll bring the point in that the second question that was posed to me was I was in the office of my home health rehab manager. And I basically was, I was sick and tired of everything. But of course, in my mind back then, I thought, hey, you know what? You know what will make it better is if they give me a raise because of how hard I'm working. And so I walk into that office and I tried to get basically kind of pitch my case basically to that rehab manager. And she basically told me that there was nothing left to do. And I started getting emotional and telling her that it was actually pretty hard to pay the bills in Colorado, blah, 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 blah. And she basically just said to me, are you going to move back to Texas? Basically implying that I should do that. And I realized kind of two things. Number one, with that rehab manager, that I was expecting a rehab manager to give me happiness in my field. And then number two, with what my wife said, is I was basically affecting everybody else in my life because I was not happy with my career. And so it was literally those two questions that pushed me into starting a concierge practice. I knew it was a thing and I knew that I could create something in Denver. So I went out and did it. But it was those two questions that were like the driving force behind everything that I did.
I think you're talking to me, man. I think you're describing my situation.
Well, I'm sure a lot of PTs can relate with that, right?
You know what? To tell the truth, I mean, I've been watching and listening and reading all the comments in this group, and I think that's one of the main thing that why people are burned out, or a lot of people, they call it moral injury, is that we are more like people are now documenting more and we're less connecting with our patients. And I think having a concierge PT business like yours is actually a good way for us to serve all these people that really in a one-on-one basis and a more on a personal level. So in your coaching business, Josh, do you help us? Do you help us how to start one? I mean, basically from scratch. Are you going to be able to do that with the coaching program? How do you do this coaching program for us?
Yeah, so basically it's from 0 to 100 in this coaching program. I have a 3-month coaching program. Then I also have my mastermind, which is a year long for those concierge PTs that really want to take it to the next level in their practice. But for the first 3-month coaching program, basically, it's designed to basically take you, a new concierge PT, and give you all the tools necessary, teach you everything possible to move you in the right direction and get you your first few patients. Or I've had PTs in that coaching group who have left the 3-month coaching program with like 10 people on their schedule. And so, there's been massive results with that, but it's basically taking people as far as you can in the course of 3 months. And for those of you watching, I think all of us can push ourselves a lot further than you think in just the course of 3 months in regards to growing a practice.
Oh, wow. And I believe you just moved to Texas, so you're starting from scratch again, right?
I'm starting from scratch again, yeah. But I did sell my practice in Denver, and now my goal is now here in Texas. I'm a full-time business coach. So it's still to be determined if I'll be starting another concierge practice. I probably will see clients on the side because I love doing it, but I also love helping other PTs to escape corporate healthcare and to get into mobile concierge therapy.
I love that. Escape corporate healthcare. So if you are watching and listening right now, whether you're watching on the replay or on the live, obviously comment live, hi, hello, and everything like that. If you really want to escape the corporate, whatever you call that again, Josh.
Corporate healthcare.
Corporate healthcare, corporate burnout, whatever you want to call it, moral injury, and you want to provide an excellent one-on-one concierge PT business with your clients, reach out to Josh. He's awesome. He's great. I know him personally. I've seen him in action and in person, and he's just an awesome guy. If you don't have the budget right now, grab his book. His book is how much is your book, Josh? 15, 20 bucks?
It's $20, but
$20?
but actually right now I still have a campaign going on that you only have to pay $7 for shipping and handling, and we'll send it
Gosh,
anywhere
imagine
to
that,
us.
guys.
Yeah.
Go reach out to Josh. I mean, if you don't have the budget for coaching right now, that actual book is actually the coaching program. I've learned so much. Josh sent me some of his copy, and I gave it to some of my PTAs who are working under me. You know, we have this, you know, quote unquote cash-based practice too. And now I'm afraid that my PTA is going to go by themselves, but in fact, I'm not. You know, it just boosted his spirit that he can actually do it. Because just so for everybody know, who people who are watching right now, we charge 150, and I give the 100 to my PTA. I get the $50, and I'm earning passively out of it, and he's doing all the stuff. And if my PTAs can do that, they can do it. You know, the treatments in a wellness cash-based concierge practice, you guys can do it too. And I had to learn the hard way, learning the system, because I didn't have a coach like Josh. Josh here is actually offering you guys how to start from scratch, and how to start, you know, what's the step that you need to do, and who to reach out to, and what to actually do. So reach out to him, guys, ACG, if you really want to offer this actual concierge PT practice. It doesn't have to be PT, by the way. You can be an OT, you can be a speech therapist. You know, just reach out to Jeremy, to Josh, and you know, ask him, hey, can this be a viable option for me, or can this be a good option for me? You know, I know Josh is not gonna charge you for a small call or whatever, but you know, just reach out, send him a message. Just right now, I had a lady called me. Hey, Mike, texted me. Hey, Michael, can I call you and ask you something? And I said, yeah, why not? I coached her for an hour. It was just a simple talking, and she was so encouraged. And we're not all here to make big money. We're all here to coach you and guide you and bring out the best in you. I know Jeremy Sutton, he wants 1,000 authors in no time, you know, within this year. And Josh, he wants how many? What's your target again? How many?
My goal is to basically help over 200 physical therapists in the next 3 years to start their own concierge practices.
We can have 200 people start their own concierge practice, whether it be a PT, an OT, or speech. You know, even an assistant, you know, a PTA and a CODA can start your own practice providing wellness services. Reach out to Josh. So I know you're busy, Josh, you know, and everything. Is there any words of wisdom you can give us on how to start our practice? I mean, do we need to get a website, a fancy website, a Facebook page? Do we need to have a whatever those landing pages? And I mean, what do we need to do first?
I think that the first thing you've got to do is I mean, besides the like legalities, like you do have to get an LLC or a PLLC or whatever you need for your specific states. You need that. And if you guys have any questions on that, you definitely are welcome to reach out to me, and I'd be glad to help you out. And then from there, you've got to be able to get a tax ID to set up your business. And then depending on your state as well, this is something else to look up, see if you need a business license to run a license, to be a licensed PT with your own business in that state. And so those are probably the 3 main things to look up. Once you start understanding all of those things, business becomes a little bit less scary. Like you just kind of figure out that, okay, I only need that. That's really it. Like that's it. I mean, there's other things like documentation systems and all that good stuff, and forms and stuff like that. But really the basis is those kind of 3 things. So LLC, PLLC, S Corp, your articles of corporation for your business. Then it's number 2, your tax ID, once you get that, number 1. And then number 3 is a business license if you need that for your state. So that's kind of like the nitty gritty logistics side of things. But for those of you watching that are interested in starting a mobile concierge practice, I think the number 1 thing for you to think of first is, who do you really want to target and specialize in? Because the one thing that I've learned over the last 3 years of having my own practice in Denver is that if you want to have a lot of success in this model, it is best to specialize, niche down, and target a specific area. And so I would start thinking about that and start answering some questions for yourself of like, who do you love to see? Like, who would you, I always ask this question is, who would you on your schedule in a perfect physical therapy world, occupational therapy world, whatever it is, in a perfect world, who would you love to have on your schedule? And if you didn't have to worry about money, who would you love to have on your schedule all day for free? And if you're having a little bit of trouble, try and think back to specific patients that you have absolutely loved working with and start coming up with different characteristics and reasons why you loved working with them. They were motivated, great. Maybe they had low back pain, great. Okay, and what were you able to help them do? I loved working with them because they had big goals, great. Okay, now we start to understand like a picture of who we could actually search for in the market. And so that would probably be my number one thing besides the logistics stuff, is to start actually thinking about who is that? And if you don't know, it's perfectly fine. I had no freaking idea that I wanted to see business owners and CEOs when I first moved to Denver. But when I started to market myself, those were the people that were attracted to me. And I said, hey, guess like this is an awesome niche. This is an awesome group of people that I should specialize in. And so I made all of my branding surround that. And then it kind of, went from there. It took a little while to really get the balls rolling, but really took off after that first year.
Amazing. So I guess first thing that we need to do, or people who wants to do this, is the niche, right? You have to identify what specific avatar or niche. I always hear this, the riches are in the niches. So we cannot serve everyone, we cannot serve everybody. And that's the problem right now with being a therapist, especially in this group. We want to serve everyone. Obviously, you can't. I can't serve everyone. Just imagine, I wouldn't be called the dementia guy or the demented guy if I didn't position myself to be that dementia expert. And you guys will probably not listen to this or come and join this alternative career group if you didn't think I was that dementia guy. So find that specific niche. So if you are an OT, and you love hand, go ahead and focus on that hand. And then if you're a speech therapist, if your expertise obviously swallowing, focus on the swallowing. Find that specific person or that niche or that avatar and run with it. Yes, you may think, oh, I'm niching down so much. No, because once you niche down, you're gonna eventually scale up. And yes, my specialty is dementia, and I get a lot of stroke. I get a lot of TBI, traumatic brain injury. And just recently, I had one person called me. I called them in Vietnam, and there's another guy that called me in Australia. And it's just amazing how this niching down is happening. But they don't have dementia; they have TBI, traumatic brain injury. And this is what Josh Payne is telling us: you have to niche down and focus on there, and then run from it, run with it. And this is what Josh is going to teach you too, and guide you if you are interested in really opening up your own concierge practice. So any other tips that we need to know, Josh?
Yeah, are you able to see the comments from there? If there's any comment for those, I don't even know who's watching because I can't see that on my screen, but if you're watching, would you mind commenting below what you feel like your niche is, or an area of specialty that you want to focus in? Because I know that this is something that is kind of like beat like a dead horse in the world of physical therapy coaching these days. But I'm telling you guys that this is the place to start, because this really is, there's a reason why it's talked about so much, is you do have to have a specialty in some way. And if you do have a specialty that aligns with what you love to do and who you love to treat, then it creates a match made in heaven basically for your practice. Now, one thing I want to say about that is, it's not like I've always dreamed my entire life to work with CEOs and business owners. And I know that's my niche. But alternatively, I found that they were attracted to me and the way that I treated my personality. And so I went all in on that because I was like, oh my gosh, I must be good at treating these type of people. And then I started to attract more and attract more and attract more. And so also notice the types of people that you work well with and the people that are attracted to you most, because basically success leaves clues. And I've talked about this before, but if you are attracted, like if a certain person is attracted to you, like maybe, you know, a middle-aged woman, then take notice of that and realize that may be because you're really, really good at treating that specific type of person.
Oh, wow. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. I love what you said about that, identifying that. So,
You know, a middle-aged woman.
Right now, I don't see any comment except for Jeremy.
Okay. That's it, Jeremy? Oh my goodness. Okay.
I know, right? Well,
I can't see it on my end. So
I'm sorry. I was supposed to post that, hey, we're going to do an interview with Josh Payne. I didn't post that. But hopefully with all those coaches that we have, you know, our people will be excited to watch that every Monday. Is today Monday?
Today's Monday.
Yeah, today's Monday. We used to have the Monday mentor training at every 7 p.m. here, and we've lost the momentum and everything. So hopefully with you guys coming in as an alternative career coach and more coaches coming in, that way we can have this regular 7 p.m. slot, you know, and that way we can have more interaction with our group people. So
Yeah, most definitely.
And before I let you go, Josh, any last tip for us? You know, where can we reach you? You know, your website. I'm putting up your website here, conciergeptmikajabi.com. Where can we reach you? Obviously here in Facebook. Is that okay to reach you here in Facebook?
You can reach out to me on Facebook at Josh Payne. You can reach out to me on Instagram at the Concierge PT. You can go to my website, or also I've got a Facebook group as well called the Concierge Physical Therapist. And so you can join that and see what's going on in there. We do weekly live trainings, especially every Wednesday night in that group as well. So if you're interested in that, it's a great group as well. But I think the best way is I'm always on Facebook. And so you can just reach out to me there through Facebook Messenger.
I actually love watching all your video, and it's so encouraging because it pushes me to my next level. So you guys, if you're watching, you know, follow Josh, follow his group, you know, Concierge PT group. And I see some comment now. Leslie Fraser, she's an SLP. So have you coached any speech therapists yet?
I have not, but I'm actually really glad that you brought that up, because I think the whole goal of my mission is basically to expand healthcare, like healthcare as a whole, like physical therapy. That I'm used to working with physical therapists, but I think occupational therapists, speech language pathologists, all these different areas of rehab, we all experience the same thing. So it's not like PTs are the only people that experience what I was just talking about in the home health setting. And so I have not coached any speech therapists, but I think the main thing is, if you're dealing with kind of that burnout and you want to be able to escape corporate healthcare, I think this can be a model, if you're entrepreneurial minded, that anyone can use in the rehab field. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
That's right. Yeah, coaching is very transferable. The original coaching program that I attended is it's called 48 Days Coaching Mastery, and my coaches were authors and speakers and stuff like that. There was no PT there. There was a physician, and his name is Dr. Clark Gaither, and he was like rocking it now. He's just going all over. He quit his physician job because Dan Miller, the actual coach, just like our Greg Todd, you know, basically Greg Todd said, "Oh, quit your physician job if you really like to be an author or a speaker." Now that physician, he quit his actual family practice, and he's going all around the world speaking and sharing the hope of being a, you know, of whatever he's talking about, or leadership or something like that. And it was just amazing. So Leslie said, "I am an SLP and I'm also a coach. Have not been able to get into cash business yet." Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
All right. So what do you coach, Leslie? We'll probably wait for her reply. But any last parting words that we can learn from you, Josh, on how to start our concierge PT practice?
Yeah, I think the main thing is I just want to help. I want to help other PTs, like we said, OTs, and everybody else in the rehab field to basically understand that if you feel like stuck, like I was, that you're definitely not alone. And and I know that's why this group is here. And so, I mean, I just because I took the steps when honestly I didn't even really know any other people starting mobile concierge practices at the time. Now I know a lot of them. But at the time, I just took the steps and I kind of went blindly into it because I knew that that's what I needed to do. And honestly, in order to find happiness in my life, in order to find happiness in my marriage, we all know that like I was bringing my work home. I was frustrated with where I was. I felt like I should be doing more and accomplishing more, but I was stuck in this dead end job, basically getting paid well, but just doing documentation for a living. And so if that's you, like just understand that you're not alone, but how can you get out of that is yeah, coaching is great, but also taking steps in the right direction. I mean, I figured out all of it on my own just from drive and just from wanting to create a different reality in my life. And so for those of you, if I could just be encouraging and just let you know that you can make it happen too. If you're not an entrepreneur in nature, or if you don't think you're meant to be a business owner, I would challenge that. I didn't think I was going to be a business owner or an entrepreneur either. I think we all have more in ourselves than we give ourselves credit for. So that'd probably be my best parting words for people. If you've got any other questions for me, please feel free to reach out.
Oh, wow. That is very powerful what you said. If you think you are not an entrepreneur, all of us actually are made to sell or made to be an entrepreneur. We're actually selling our services when we go to a patient's house. When you're in the nursing home, you're actually selling your therapy services. And the key here is just trying to look out and just being the best for yourself. The good thing about having your own business, you have your own, you control your time, you control the time with your clients, you enjoy them more. Just imagine the time, instead of you documenting, imagine the time that you can spend in actually treating that patient or that person. And they're going to respect you more, and they're going to believe you more. You're going to get more outcomes, better outcomes. So again, thank you very much, Josh. I really appreciate you for coming over and being a coach, and also for encouraging our group. Yeah.
I've got one more thing to say based on what you were saying is I talked about this a little bit today, but man, I'm realizing this more and more and more as I push into being a business owner as well, is there's so much freedom outside of the normal 8 to 5. Like there's unbelievable amounts of freedom out there. And it's funny, one kind of thing that I was using with one of my coaching students today, that's who I was talking to about it, was that there's so much freedom outside of the 8 to 5 that I've been making up all these excuses for the longest time why I can't volunteer at my church. I've got to do this on, I've got to have time with my family on Sunday. I've got to have time with my family to do this on, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. And when you escape the 8 to 5, I've started to realize, I'm like, hey, guess what? I can go do that.
I can do more.
I can volunteer at my church if I want to. Guess why? Because on Monday, I'm in control of my schedule. And I don't have to go to dread Monday anymore. Is I can actually go and do that on Sunday and feel good about it, because that's what I should have been doing all along. But I was using the 8 to 5 that I had in place in my life as the excuse as to why I couldn't do it. And I think that goes with a lot of stuff in our lives, is we say no to maybe things on Sunday, or we say no to things on the weekend because we know we've got a big week ahead. But when you are able to escape the 8 to 5, there is so much freaking freedom, I promise you. And so I just want to encourage you guys out there that feel like you're in a dead end. You can do this thing, and it will clear up so much time in your life. And the most valuable commodity that you can have in your life is time.
Oh gosh, that is so powerful, Josh. There's so much out there. I put up a post somewhere here in our group, and I put up all the stuff that I do. I said there, I do YouTube, I do podcasts and everything. And majority of the people that posted in that thread or in that video, they asked me, how do you do it all, Michael? You actually do it all by being an entrepreneur, because you got more time for yourself. And that's what Josh is telling us. It's not all about the 8 to 5. If you want to get out of that 8 to 5 job, and if you want to do more time for your patient, more time for your family, more time for yourself, start your own business, be an entrepreneur, because like what Josh said, there's so much more outside from the 8 to 5 job. So
There, and you mind me saying one more thing? I'm sorry.
yeah, go
You're
ahead.
making all this
I'm
go.
learning from you, man.
But I want you guys to think about it like this. I recently heard this from somebody, so I'm by no means saying this is from me. I can't remember where I heard it from, but I basically heard that, think about it like this. You are trading 5 days in your week in most cases for 2. And so you're trading 5. Most people always just say, I just got to get through the week, right? I just got to get through the week. I got to get through the week. And then I got my 2 days, boom. And I was again, talking with a coaching student of mine. I was like, would you ever in your right mind give somebody $10 when you know that you're only going to get 4 back? Would that ever be an investment that you would ever make? Or let's just use easier numbers. Would you ever give somebody $5 when you know that you're only going to get 2 back? Would that be an investment any of you out there would ever make? And so I heard about it in this book, and they were talking about it in that way, that why are we so okay with trading 5 days for 2? And when I started to realize that, I was like, oh my gosh, that really is true. Like, why don't we ever think about it like that? Because we really are trying to just get our 5 days in so we can have our free 2 days. And then we get our 5 days in so we can have our free 2 days. And so, I can't even tell you how much it's done for me and my family with giving me more time. And I've got a little 8-month-old son up there, and I can't even explain to you guys how much more time means to me now. Like, to be able to actually spend time with him and actually just be able to lay on the ground and play with that little guy and spend time with him and see him smile and not miss things like when he's crawling. I actually saw that today. He had his first crawl today. Whereas before, I missed his first smile. I missed his first laugh. Some of those things that happened. And I decided within the last 3 to 4 months, like, look, I got to continue to free open my schedule because I'm not missing those damn things. I'm not missing any of that anymore. And so anyway, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, Mike, but man, that's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart.
Well, I love what you said. How about you said we're doing the 5 days and then 2 days of rest. And I'm just waiting for you to say, how about if we just do 2 days of work and 5 days of rest?
Well, that probably would have been the perfect thing to say, right?
I know. It's like, I think it, and I remember I interviewed Bert. I don't know if you know Bert, Engelbert de Vera.
Yeah,
I call him in the middle of the day. I'm like, I'm seeing patients, right? And I'm calling him in the middle of the day, and he's like, oh, and I'm like, where are you at, Bert? Oh, I'm here at the tennis court. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, that's the beauty of having your own business. I'm like, gosh, I need to do what you're doing. I call him at around 6 o'clock at nighttime. And I said, what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing basketball with my son. I'm like, what the heck? He's playing tennis in the morning. And then sometimes I'll call him in lunchtime. I'm free. Hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm bringing lunch to my wife. And where's your wife? Well, she's working. I'm just bringing lunch for her. And he has all this freedom and everything because he has his business. And this is what Josh is offering for you guys. Freedom in taking care of your patient, freedom, time freedom, money freedom, and everything like that, financial freedom. Before I let you go, Josh, Leslie is asking, are you doing your practice online, telepractice, question mark?
Oh, for my coaching?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's all online, but we're working towards some in-person stuff. But my mastermind is all online as well, but there is some in-person components to that as well.
Mm-hmm. I remember, was it last month you guys went somewhere in California? You guys went to
Yeah. So that was David Bailiff and I, and we've got something called the Ignite Weekend together, where we'll actually go to different locations and coach in person. Which was really, really cool. And I've got a mastermind event coming up at the end of September in Denver. And so I'll fly out, and they've got my mastermind students have their own little house there. And we're just going to, really dive deep that weekend, but also do some cool things like hiking and a few other things I've got up my sleeve as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
For those who are watching and listening right now, a lot of people are asking, Michael, what is a mastermind? Mastermind is basically a group of people that are pushing you to your next level. You've got a coach, people who are actually asking you to move to your next level. And you need to find that group of people, guys. ACG, Alternative Girls Group. Yes, we got 11,000 members here. You need to find a group of people that will push you. Over the weekend, I went to our meetup in Tennessee. It's like 3-hour drive. And I had to go there because those group of people is actually elevating me. If you hang out with chickens, guess what? You're going to be a chicken someday. If you hang out with fellow eagles, you guys are going to fly high. And this is the reason why we have this group here. You know, we try to screen all the posts. If we see a post that is really negative and condescending to other people, we try to delete that, because we want this group to be awesome. We want this great to be great and positive and uplifting. And that's the reason why we have all these coaches that were coming over and bring out the best in you guys. So again, thank you very much, Josh. Anything else, sir?
Man, I think that is it. But I appreciate you so much for having me on. I look forward to talking with you guys on a more regular basis. This is an amazing group you've got, and you do such a good job at running it. So I just appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you very much too for coming over. And again, reach out to Josh. He's awesome. He's great. Again, before I let you go, ACG, before I turn this whatever TV or what do you call this, Zoom call, always remember the word fast. First, it's like our Facebook page, like Josh's page. Go to his group, Concierge PT group, because the more likes, the better. The more people in that group, the better, because the more we will learn from him. All right. And letter A, gotta take action. All this stuff. This is a free interview. Josh could have charged me $1,000 right now for this 45-minute call, but he's not charging me. He's not charging you. We're providing this awesome service right now. So all this stuff that he just told us, take action. Take action, because just like that movies, you know, there's this light, camera, action. You can have your light ready, you can have your camera ready, but if you don't take action yourself, it's not going to do you good. That life or that movie is not going to do you good. And letter S, share it to your friends, share it to your family member, share the Concierge PT mickajabi.com, because the more shares, the better, right? And last but not the least, letter T, teach it, because the more you teach it, the more you understand it. And that's what Josh is here for. He's going to teach you how to have and start a Concierge PT practice. Again, thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of the night, brother.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Thank you. And you have a good night, ACG. Be awesome. Be great. Be excellent.
Yes.
Josh, bye-bye. Thank you for listening to our show for today. Again, if you need education, you need CEU courses, log into medbridgeeducation.com/TN Therapy Outsource. Use the promo code Dr. Mike or alternative. Again, thank you very much for watching our show. God bless you. And always remember, movement matters to your brain matter. God bless you and have a great day. Bye-bye.